People, I just got through watching the Hurd J-Rock fight, and like I said in the previous video, if Hurd lets J-Rock pile up the early rounds, he was going to win, and that's what happened. I thought that Hurd would win the fight by knockout or a close decision. I said that, but I said if Hurd let J-Rock pile up points, J-Rock was going to win, and that's just what happened. That's what happens when a guy with hardly no amateur pedigree faces a really good a guy who has a hell of an amateur pedigree and takes his time to hone his skills and learn the sport of boxing. Hurd just went in. I'm not going to say he didn't have any skill. Obviously he did because he was a champion. But Hurd went in there and he always depended on an iron chin and taking a lot of punches and wearing his man down, fighting a war of attrition. You can't win like that all the time. And even if you do, your career won't be very long. I think Hurd was a victim of the way he fights. I think he's had so many hard struggles that he just wore down. And he looked wore down today. I've heard some people say on I think for Fanon, I heard him say that maybe Hurd ought to move up. Maybe he ought to. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's too dehydrated trying to stay at 154. But I think more than moving up, he ought to hone his skills. He ought to, obviously against J-Rock, he should have stayed outside and jab. Use that jab, then come across that right hand. He was trying to, it looked like he was trying to shoulder roll, but I haven't seen anybody do that well but Mayweather and James Toney. But James Toney had his own take on the shoulder roll. Everybody I see try to do that shoulder roll goes down in defeat. I don't know. Hurd is not going to be around long if he doesn't fix his mistakes to get some more technical knowledge in fighting and change the way he fights and stop letting guys beat up on him in the first round, in the first rounds, in the early rounds. J-Rock knocked him down. I think it's the second round. Was it the second round? Yeah, I think J-Rock there knocked him down the second round. And it looked like he was getting ready to go down in other rounds with J-Rock, caught him with crisp, clean shots. J-Rock was catching it with counter punches, and he was catching him with offensive punches. Hurd had no answer for J-Rock tonight. They say it's going to be a rematch, but I don't see why. It's the same thing, going the same outcome. Hurd, number one, is probably dehydrated, trying to stay at 154, perhaps, because he did look kind of tired. And also, the way he fights, man, you don't have to fight leading with your face all the time. And he was a taller guy, and he was leaning in on the inside with his hand down, with his arm down, his shoulder out, like trying to be like Mayweather. Nobody can do that today but Mayweather. That fighting style is something that Mayweather adopted later on when he was in the amateurs and when he was his early career. He didn't do much of that. Or he didn't use it the way he did, and other fighters are trying to use it. But it's not going to work for you. It only worked for the Mayweathers and James Toney. That's it. James Toney took that shoulder roll and took it all the way up to heavyweight and beat some heavyweights, some decent heavyweights. He's a little fat, pudgy middleweight beating decent heavyweights with that shoulder roll. But J-Rock is not going to work for you, man. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board. You're going to have to keep your hands held high. Stop dropping that left hand. utilize the jab, and on the inside, throw uppercuts. And don't stay on the inside too long. And don't let people get you. He's letting J-Rock get him up on the ropes, keep him on the ropes. J-Rock bullied him on the ropes, which was surprising. Hurd is the one usually doing the bullying. J-Rock was a much smaller man, which you know what? That goes to the fact that he may have been dehydrated. He may be dehydrated trying to keep that super welter tag. Because J-Rock looks too small of a man to be bullying Hurd like that. So Fanon might have been right about that. But the boy needs to go back to the drawing board. Listen to his coach, his trainers. Get some good sparring in from some good amateurs. Amateur guys that have not developed bad habits, that's fresh out of amateur games and stuff, you know. Not necessarily Olympics, but just amateur, you know, national golden gloves and even local golden gloves. Guys that can throw, that can go, that don't have the bad habits yet. That's what he needs. Shall he fight Charlo? If Charlo beats if Charlo beats Tony Harris in a rematch, I don't even care to see Hurd and Charlo. Both guys have been beaten. They've both been tainted already. But I think that Charlo won his fight against Tony Harrison. But we'll see again when they fight again who's going to win. Now, I hope you don't make the same mistakes that Hurd made and jump on this guy early with his jab. Hurd didn't seem to utilize the jab like he should have. I don't know why. Maybe his trainer, I don't know. Maybe he should get another trainer. It sounded like his trainer was giving him sound advice, but maybe he wasn't. I didn't hear him tell him to utilize that jab as much as he should have. Even double jab. Should have double jab. Maybe triple jab. Fighters are not using their jabs enough. Sometimes just throwing one jab will get you a punch in the face. Sometimes you have to double and triple and then shoot your right hand. You have to double and then feint with the right hand, shoot a left hook. Guys got to be more, use their imagination more in fighting. They have to mix up their punches more. Hurd should have done that. And Hurd seemed like he was pawing. He wasn't, it seemed like he was getting the full extension of his body in his punches. He seemed to me like he was slap boxing. I don't know. Well, anyway, guys, if you like this, press the like button and please subscribe. Peace. This is classic boxing and MMA.